Hello everyone. My name is AltaraGuy, and welcome back to No Man's Sky, Part 28. In the last episode, we finished off pretty much the last of the side quests that we've wanted to do. We learned a lot about Null and how he is honestly a pretty terrible individual who did not want us to go to the Atlas because he was basically pissed that he made a mistake or rather, it's not even a mistake. He made a terrible decision, and the Atlas shunned him for it, as they should have, because that was not a great thing to learn about what he did. If you want to learn more specifically about what I'm talking about, watch the last episode. That was the one where we learned about what was going on with him. In this one, I'm going to try and finish off the main quests, see if I can, but the first thing that I want to do is I want to complete the Atlas path, which means that we need to find a system with an Atlas station in it. So, I will select an Atlas station system, which conveniently happens to be right here, and we'll go warp to it and see what they have to say to us. So I'll see you guys when we get there. Alright, so we're here, discovered by Bjorkley. That's interesting, because most of the systems have been discovered by me that we've gone to so far, so I wonder if there are a fixed number of Atlas interfaces and only certain people can discover them. I don't know. Right, we also got another one of the glyphs. So we only need 4 more warps before we can go to the center of the universe. So let's go have a look-see at the Atlas, and what? Okay. See if we can step on these, like, things and get more Atlas words, maybe? No? Okay. Atlas word for reality. Alright. Any more? No? Okay. In that case, let's talk to the Atlas and see what they have to say to us about this. I believe this is also going to give us some free warp cells, so that'll be pretty nice. Alright, Atlas interface. No idea. Another Atlas interface. How many of these constructs exist in the deep void? How long have they been slumbering, waiting for a traveler? Have they been expecting me? Am I somehow chosen? That the Atlas crafted this existence, the Gek, the Vy'keen, the Korvax, the stars that fill the skies, and the hatred that burns within the deep. Every world that turns, and every form that lives, the Atlas offers it all. Consent. I take the gift of knowledge, certain in my decision. All doubts are silenced. The stars await me. Englobed Shade. This Atlas shell holds the remains of a parasitic spaceborne life form, most likely of extra-dimensional origins. I have a feeling that I'm going to need to craft these, so I will probably cut away while I gather the materials to do that. And I'll see you guys at the next Atlas station, because, you know, I don't know if there's necessarily anything more for me to do other than just take a look at these stations and have the final bits of the lore revealed to us. So I'll see you guys when we get there. Alright, we've got ourselves the next Atlas interface, and I gotta say, what the heck? This is new. Why does it look different? What? Okay. Atlas word for is. Great. Yeah, this looks very different. No. Give me the warp cells. No idea. I was born with everything I needed to explore these worlds. My exosuit, my ship, every tool and every impulse led me to scan and give name to whatever I could find. But this? I can give no name to what I see. Within the orb, I see worlds that never were. I see the stirring of something primal and undeniable. I see the death cry of a god, or something approaching it. It wants me to persist in this journey, seeking fragments of its interface, the stones of the Atlas. It rejoices in my repetition, my compliance, my cloud of unknowing. I will commit myself to the voyage. In all things I am ready. I will not falter. New spheric orb. Yeah, so this Atlas looks extremely different to the other ones that we've seen so far. So I don't know what's going on here, because like the first one we found was red and like geometric and stuff. This next couple that we found were like jet black, and this one has like a weird armored shell around it or something. So I don't know what's going on, if that's like a symbol of it dying, that the armor is like life support or something, or if we're getting closer to the quote-unquote true form of the Atlas. I don't know. That remains to be seen when we get access to future interfaces. Now, I gotta say, I'm extremely glad that I went ahead and got the Sentinel ship, because the hyperdrive range on this bad boy is way better than any other ship that I've had thus far, which is awesome because it means that I don't have to worry about burning fuel to make extra jumps. So that makes this process a whole lot faster, which means that, you know, it's going to be more efficient, or it's whatever. You guys don't really know the difference, but if you're going to play along, I definitely recommend getting a Sentinel ship, because it makes this last bit of the quest line so much easier and so much faster. Anyway, I'll see you guys when I get to the next interface, and after I've crafted the next Atlas seed. Got ourselves the next Atlas interface. We only have 2 more glyphs, so I really hope that you don't get like auto-warped after you... Whoa... What the heck? Okay, something is like seriously going wrong here. Atlas word for beyond. Atlas word for of. Oh, do these give me words now? No, of course they don't. Let's recharge my life support real quick. What? Is it these lights here? No? Okay, I was just getting words. Sure. Anyway, as I was saying, I really hope that I don't get, like, auto-warped. I don't remember if you do or not, if you get auto-warped to the Galactic Core after you get the 16th glyph. I hope not, because that means I've basically goofed this and I can't complete the Atlas path. So, we'll see. Okay, the same word twice. I feel the stirring of heresy within my mind. At each interface, an Atlas stone awaits me. I am driven to gather them, but to what end? Why does the Omnipotent require my prayer? What is wrong with the heart of existence that its creator requires this pilgrimage, this dance of grinding stones? Fair question. I answer the question. I will not turn away from the challenge. The Atlas guides me, and I will answer its call. Dark matter. Okay. I'm gonna look this up real quick, because if I have irreparably goofed this, then... Oh... What is... Visually, what is happening? Okay, it's better now. What the heck? This is weird. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna look it up, and if I have irreparably goofed this, then I will basically just see you guys at the end. If I haven't irreparably goofed this, then I will complete this path, and then I'll see you guys at the end. Whoa, what? What? Hold on. You guys seeing that? What is this? What the heck? Okay, this is getting like mind-numbingly weird. Okay, so like Gek, a Vy'keen, and a Korvax, but like, what does this mean for us? Also, no warp cells for us to claim. That's interesting. Okay. When I dream, I see the Atlas. When I see the Atlas, I am the dream. I see sentinels swarm through universes like an infection, emerging from a world of glass. Everything is happy there. Everything will live. I see the portals. I see the travelers that walk between them. I see the span of history. I see everything as the Atlas sees it. Alone, abandoned, terrified. But what power could instill fear in the heart of the Almighty? It asks for something. It wants to know that I understand. Ascent? I don't know what that means. I've become the Harbinger, the Pathfinder, the Seeker of Ways. Through me, the universe will know itself. Dawn's End. Okay. Okay. Well, I can craft that immediately. Oh, the visuals are getting even weirder. Oh, man. Things are seriously messed up right now. I mean, okay, so, like, thoughts on that? That is a good question. What could, I mean, other than death itself, what could instill fear in a god? If that is indeed what the Atlas is. And to our, you know, for all intents and purposes, to us, because we are simply individuals in a simulation, we can reasonably treat the Atlas as a god, because, you know, suppose that, you know, even in the real world, and, you know, here, people believe that God created the universe. Similar idea here. Maybe, you know, God isn't all-powerful, but to us, the subjects of said universe that he created, how would we know otherwise? And I'm not religious, so, you know, theologists in the comments, feel free to correct me on this, but how would you know that it's not a god if it created you to believe that it is? This is the question that I think we are starting to approach. So, oh. We've got just an Atlas stone that looks like the Atlas interface. Okay, also, I did look it up, and we've gotten all of the glyphs, so it does not automatically teleport you. You have to go to the portal itself, and that will tell you, or that will get you to the end, where you basically make the final decision. The Atlas word for there. I mean, for the most part, these words are, I mean, they're nice, I guess, but, like, I don't understand most of what the Atlas is saying, and I don't know if there's a way to get more Atlas words, so, like, the translator doesn't even work for this, which makes sense, but, you know, beyond the something and the something, there is something. The act of discovery for discovery's sake now seems like a foolish conceit. I have rejected the path of the itinerant. Itinerant? I have rejected the call of the stars. So this is interesting because discovery for discovery's sake was what Noah wanted to do. Foolish conceit. Kind of makes sense for what we learned about him. Only the Atlas matters now. With each encounter, I feel as if I understand a little more. All of us are what we are. Evil arrives in the individual, and goodness is not enough. True greatness lies in sorrow, in the embrace of what we must become. There has never been any other choice than this one. I go on. We go on. Eternal. Forever searching. Okay, Photic Jade. I can make that. Oh, so I think I need each seed to... Oh my god, the visuals are getting so whacked up, jacked up. I think I need each seed to progress to the next part of the Atlas path. So I guess it's a good thing that I'm crafting it in between each particular session, or each interface. But yes, so going back to that original point, yeah, Okay, so there's a portal there, but I want to go to the next Atlas station. Because we're going to complete the Atlas path in this episode. It's going to happen. Hyperdrive has no fuel. Well, isn't that just delightful? Alright, I've got a whole bunch of warp cells. Shabingus. Alright. Now, let's go to the Atlas interface. Right. Hang on. Hang on. There. But yeah, so, other than death, what could inspire fear in an almighty being? Because we know the Atlas is dying, and we know the Atlas is crying out for help. So it could potentially just be as simple as a fear of death, because death is an unknown. And for the most part, life is afraid of the unknown. Even the Atlas. Or at least, so we would believe. So will we find out what that is, or is this just going to basically tell us that the blind devotion to the Atlas is the way forward? And that's just what we need to do. So this is more like what we have seen in previous iterations of the Atlas Stone. This was the first one that we saw, I believe. Or like the first one. Let's see if we can grab some more words. Atlas word for this. Okay. Can we get potentially more? Whoop. Atlas word for cannot. Atlas word for will. Okay. Atlas word for... Okay, so do I just get... Is it these? No. I could have sworn that there is a trigger for getting more Atlas words. Is it just these? And I have to grab... like, only some of them actually give me words? Or am I just getting lucky and wandering around is how you get them? I don't know. I'm going to wander around, see if I can get some more words, and then I'll talk to the Atlas again. Because if this is the path that you're supposed to be doing, I may have just goofed you guys out of some lore. And if that is what happened, then I'll look it up on like the wiki or something, and I'll read off what the actual translation is, so that you guys can fully understand what I was... Actually, no, I'll do a voiceover at that after each clip, so that you guys can see what the Atlas is actually saying, because I have... This is how you get a whole bunch of words, and I didn't do that because I thought it didn't work. So, anyway, I'll see you guys when I get to the thing. Okay, here we are. Bring us something. You are something. What is learned can never be unlearned. I am afraid that I have seen too much. There are glimpses, half-remembered visions of a time before time. I see the birth of the first star. I see things that dwelt within it, the eyes that watched. I see what the Atlas saw at the moment of its activation. Atlas stones are not stones. The station is not a station. I am not what I think I am. I'm not sure that I exist. I'm not even sure that I exist. The Atlas does not care. The Atlas demands its threnody, its repetition sublime. I silence my fears and renew my dedication to the path. Only the voyage matters. The destination calls to me. State phasure. Okay. So I need cadmium for that. I have a feeling that I'm going to need to get the indium drive, which is going to be a bit of an annoyance because I don't have emerald. So that may be its own thing, but for now, we'll see about just progressing like we have been. Because I'm pretty sure to finish this particular quest line, you need the final Atlas seed, which is what I've been making thus far. So I'll warp back to my freighter, because I've got cadmium on the freighter, I believe. Or do I have it on me? No, that's phosphorus. Yeah, I've got cadmium on the freighter. So I will go and get that done, and then I will see you guys at the next interface. Alright, we've got ourselves the next Atlas interface. Let's see what the situation is here. Okay, it looks like the normal one again. Maybe there's like specific interface like types like, in each zone, or it's like a predetermined interface, is like, hey, this one looks like this one looks like that. I don't know. But I'm going to grab these words, hopefully, and then I will see you guys at the interface message. Alright, next interface. You something, see something, our eyes. You something, be something, we are. Do not be something. All something are yours. Maybe do not be scared. All of, I don't know. All the universe, all the stars are yours, maybe? I've become the servant of this ancient sentience. It guides me through the cosmos, ever searching, never deviating. Have others come before me? Have others faltered upon the path of the Atlas? Only in ending will revelation arise. Resistance will not be permitted. The Atlas wishes for me to know what it is like to create. It wishes to share some portion of its being. I sense that it cares deeply about this journey, that it is trying to show me something it cannot articulate through word or demonstration. I have no choice but to proceed. This is destined. It is the program. I have always been searching, and I cannot falter. Okay. Now, I did look it up so that we wouldn't have to worry about this, and I did install the Emerald drive in my spaceship for the exact purpose of grabbing that next bit. Thankfully, because of the freighter missions, I've gotten indium from expeditions, so I don't need to get an indium drive. Which means that we can just jump straight to the next Atlas station without any delay. So let's go do that. Alright, next interface. I went ahead and just grabbed all the words before we cut back, so let's see what this has to say. There is no something, only communion. There's no Dana, there's only Zool. Is that her name? I don't know. Close now. I'm close to the end. The truth of the universe is fire. The soul is light. I am the experiment and the observer. All creation constructed for my journey. I see the universe around me, and I know that it is good. I see the universe around me, and I know that I shall create my own. Succumb. Not long now, not far to go. The stars beckon with cold fire, and I rush to meet them. Soon. Very soon. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that. Oh my god, my eyes. My eyes. We're almost back. And again, like I said, because I stupidly didn't grab all of the words before in the previous interfaces because I thought that they didn't work or it was glitched or something, I will do a voiceover after each interface. And that will be basically me just reading out the lore so that you guys can fully understand what was going on at that point, because admittedly, I did kind of goof that a little bit, and it's not fair to you guys to have that information withheld, so don't worry, you guys will be in the loop even if I am not at this very moment. Alright, I'll see you guys at the next interface. Do not turn away. Know our inescapable truth and despair. Sorry guys, we're back. Could you tell? The final interface is revealed. The Atlas beckons. I am elated, terrified, broken. I have come so very far. It wishes for me to obey. If I am to hold the power of creation, it will be in chains. I am gifted power. I am enslaved to the imitation of life. Imitation of life. Heart of the Sun, an Atlas seed containing a time-locked quantum cilia suspended in a photonic shell. No others are known to exist. Assemble the Atlas seeds. Craft the Heart of the Sun. Okay. Approach the first seed chamber. Captured nano knowledge gained. 1 of 1. Atlas seed chamber? I don't actually know what that is. Also, know our inescapable truth and despair? What exactly does that mean? I guess we'll find out, hopefully. Okay. Locate the final Atlas interface. Oops, don't do that. Alright. And where might that be? Like I said before, can't really read off the lore for the previous Atlas stations. All right.
But for the most
Thank you,
part,
Sentinel ships,
what
for having the
what the
jump
Traveler
range
says
of an
in just like
absolute
plain English
beast.
is good enough to piece together bits of the story. So again,
Because
sorry about not being able to
basically
read and
what it can
interpret
do
the
in one
previous
jump, the other
Atlas
ship had to
statements,
do in
but
6,
unfortunately,
maybe
I mean,
5.
for better or
But
for worse, they're not
point
entirely
is,
necessary to
the
progress
Sentinel
the
ship makes
story.
things so much easier. So yeah, if you guys are playing this game, get a Sentinel ship as soon as you physically can. Now, of course, it'll be tricky because you do have to beat a capital ship in order to get one. And as you guys saw, if you guys are gonna, take after my example here, Star Shield batteries and the phase beam are your friend. Also, is there not an Atlas stone here? Because I don't see one. There also aren't any spheres for me to get words from, I don't think. So I guess we just go up to it? Oh, weird. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of pedestals, but it's only marked for, or only one of them is marked for the quest line? Is there a specific one that I have to do? Captured, oh, or are there 10 of them and I have to put the knowledge in each one? That could be it. Atlas Seed Chamber. The plinth resonates, pulling my knowledge of its Atlas Seed from my mind. The spirit of the captured nanode belongs here. Whisper the seed's name. Okay. Ah, I see. The plinth resonates, pulling my knowledge of its Atlas Seed from my mind. The spirit of the englobed shade belongs here. Alright. The plinth resonates. The spirit of the new spheric orb belongs here. Dark matter belongs here. Okay, Dawn's End belongs here. Photic Jade belongs here. State Phasure belongs here. Novae Reclaimant belongs here. No idea how to pronounce that one. And Modified Quanta belongs here. Okay. Hear the words of the Atlas. Alright then. Unity... Okay. Something. Truth. Something. I stand at the interface of the Atlas. I stand at the Forge of Worlds. This is how it showed me what it was. This is how the Atlas shared the nature of its life, the workings of its mind. It never required prayer. It never required worship. All that it asked of me, all that it ever wanted, was just input. I was just a user. I can feel the seeds, their hidden knowledge, gravitating towards the interface's core. The void is meant to be filled. Nothingness yearns for a soul. If I do this, a star will be born. If I do this, I will become more than I ever thought possible. Birth a new star. Okay. There is nothing, and then there's everything. I see a star blaze to life within the void, the spread of life, planets, creatures to give it meaning. For a moment, I am as the Atlas is. For a moment, I am the creator of worlds. The fabric of time and space stands revealed to me. Black holes swarming from system to system. The Atlas screams. Starseed. The smallest of sparks housed within a containment field of unknown origins. The seed glows with life, desperate to escape and fulfill its potential. I don't know what the starseed is supposed to do. But that's kind of cool. We created a new star. Oh! Wait, I'm having a thought. If you guys remember, I think it was the first time we ever actually meet the Atlas. which would have been, I believe, part 14, the Atlas said something to the effect of, like, we are the travelers. Like, it is a conglomeration of all of the travelers. And if it created the universe, what we have just done is we have created another bit of the universe. So maybe we have become part of the Atlas again. I wonder if that's what that means. If so, that would be extremely cool lore building for that situation. Because, you know, having that be the case is super mind-blowing. Alright, find a wonder to show the Atlas. The Atlas has created infinite stars, infinite worlds, infinite life, but even among infinity, each moment still has meaning. Any atom may seed a new universe. Find an Atlas interface and present a wonder. Wonders are a record of your discoveries and can be found in the catalog. Okay. I'll do that, and I'll see if there's any, like, value in it. And if there is, then you guys will see the results. And if there isn't, then I will progress to the Purge, which should be the final quest in the series. So I'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
So this is just, you can basically farm money this way. So I have a feeling, I'll look it up and see if there is a potential end to this part of the quest, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a money farm. So I'll see you guys back when I figure that out. Upon further examination, the Atlas Eternal quest does not have an end, and it is just a money farm. And also, the star seed that I have the ability to create, potentially, it's actually a technology. And what it does is it gives you a bonus health point. Now, the way that this, so you have basically two options. What I did was to create a new star, which gives you that technology. If you don't do that, if you go to the Atlas and you walk away, it gives you an item called the Mark of the Denier, which does the exact same thing as the Star Seed, except for the fact that you need to recharge it with nanites. And it doesn't just exist in your inventory as a permanent health upgrade for the cost of one inventory slot. So, all in all, I mean, the lore is more, I think, the reward of that particular quest, because, like we've established, the Atlas has, or rather is, I think they've said that it's like a conglomeration of all of the travelers that have ever existed, ever. And I'm going to talk about this while I warp to the system so we can go to the final area. But the way that it worked, the way that I seem to interpret it, is when we created the star, we joined the conglomeration, and our system is like our contribution to the Atlas, because the Atlas created the universe. But if we ourselves could use the Heart of the Sun to create a system, then potentially enough travelers could create our own universe, which I believe is what the Atlas is. Now, I could be totally wrong about that, and I'm interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are. But in the meantime, we're going to go to the final interface portal, and we are going to see about the last part of the game. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the ride. This has been a very eye-opening experience, to be sure, because a lot of the things that we've done and a lot of the things that we've learned have been very weird and very surreal. So I hope that you guys, for those of you that stuck around for the whole series, I hope that you all have enjoyed thus far. But we're about to reach the final interface portal to make the decision regarding the Atlas's fate. So let's see about what we can do with that. Alright, I'll see you guys at the portal. Never mind, I'll see you guys because the portal is right here. Alright then. And shabam. Hopefully I don't have to charge up the glyphs again, because that would kind of suck. But yeah, let's see if we can make this happen. Alright, the final interface portal. What do you got for us? You do have to charge the glyphs. Alright, well, I'll do that, and I'll see you guys when I'm back, because I don't think I have the materials to do all of them. Oh. Never mind. There we go. That was weird. 16. 16. 16. Atlas protocol initiated. 16. 16. 16. The portal shimmers as I look at it, never quite resting long enough for my eyes to process it fully. I must focus. Activate portal. Alright, here we go. I don't know why my cursor is here, but it is. Alright, final decision lies just beyond this portal. Speak with the Atlas. Here we go! And you guys will... I will do my best to try and do both choices. If I would... I don't know. We'll see about how this is going to go down, because ideally I can just reload the save and make the other choice, and hopefully it doesn't auto-save to, you know, get around people doing that. We shall see! Alright, looks like we're about to be here. Oh. What? The heck? Lethal atmosphere. Well, that doesn't sound good. Warning, anomalous signal detected. Oh, I guess we're doing that again then, huh? Okay. How long do I have to wait until I heard that? 16 out of 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Oh boy, where are we going? What's gonna happen? Oh! Okay, we're here. Is there any, like, words or anything that we can do, or is it just me and the Atlas? It looks like it's just me and the Atlas. Alright then. Let's do it. Let's see what it has for us. Final decision of the game. Here we go. Alright, before I do this, those of you in the comments, please don't cheat. Place your bets. What am I going to do? Have you figured out what my decision is based on the clues that I have given you and based on the lore of the game? Alright, here we go. The Atlas is silent. It watches me. Cry out? I cry out, but still the Atlas is silent. I cry out, thinking of my journey, thinking of all the things that I have seen. Of Artemis, who just wanted to meet another traveler, who just wanted an end to their loneliness. I cry out, thinking of Apollo, who gave me purpose when all purpose seemed lost. I cry out, thinking of Null, thinking of how they lived, what choices they made, the path that led them to this end. If I cry out again, there's no return. If I cry out again, I must make my final choice. Okay, if I leave, what does that do? Nothing. Okay. Alright. Here we go! If I cry out again, there is no return. If I cry out again, I must make my final choice. Artemis once said that when they first reached out to the heavens, they had no idea what to expect. The beauty, the mystery, the adventure, the danger. I stand before the interface of the Atlas, before the center of all things. I stand before the death of existence. On the sixth cry, the Atlas answers. Traveler. Stand your ground. It speaks. I understand. At my command, the Atlas will initiate a reset. It has happened before, and it seems to stop nothing. It still only has 16 minutes left. I do not know what I will remember when it happens. When I woke up next to my ship, had I just performed a reset? Had someone else? Everything is coming to an end. Perhaps all that is left is to learn the final truth of the simulation, to know who the travelers truly are, and then 1,000 galaxies will be gone, and 1,000 more will appear. It will all be mine to explore. I'll ask if there is another way, to see what more the game has to tell us. I plead with the Atlas, but it does not listen. There is no other way. Alright. The Atlas requires my choice. While it lives, it can still create. The resets will not stop that. I do not know what to do, or what it wants me to do. Alright. For those of you who guessed correctly, you get bragging rights. Refuse the Atlas. I refuse. I cannot do this. I cannot wreak such destruction. The Atlas allows me to leave. The offer remains open to me, should I wish to take it. Alright, so how many of you thought I was going to do that? So in this situation, we allow the Atlas to die, and the game basically becomes like just another open world exploration type thing, where we can do side quests and earn money and all that other good stuff, but there isn't much more story for us to discover, I don't believe. Restore point saved. Okay. So that was my first choice. Now it did say that the option remains open, should I wish to take it. Remembrance. Everything you ever knew is within. Heart of the Sun and Platinum. Install Remembrance. New beginnings, all the time in the world. The Atlas is dying, but on an alien timescale. There are years left to explore, and countless planets to discover without resetting the galaxy. All the time in the world. The Atlas is dying. It wants me to reset it, to plunge myself through its interface at the center of the galaxy. But to do so may reset this world, my life, all that I know. I do not know if I can do it. The galaxy is enough for me. I am content to explore, to let fate work its course without me. The Atlas waits for me, should I change my mind. Okay. Now, you may be wondering why I did that. And I'll do the other one just so you guys can see what happens. And that will be the final step of the game. The reason that I did that is because we learned in one of the other episodes, and actually it sort of reminded us just now, that resetting the Atlas doesn't do anything. It simply resets the simulation. But the Atlas will still die, and there is nothing that we can do to stop it. Now, this was sort of reiterated in previous episodes, as recently, I think, as last episode, which said something to the effect, one of the characters said something to the effect of, if a computer is on fire, what meaning does data have? And that's sort of what spurred my final decision. Was if you don't reset, or if if the Atlas is dying, they're sort of in charge of everything. They created everything that we know and have come to trust. So what is the point? And the game has made it very clear that the Atlas is dying and there's nothing that we can do to stop it. It thinks that resetting the simulation is the way forward, but we know that that has not done anything, that it is still dying, and there is nothing that can be done. So, I chose to just let it die, and let it, go in peace, if you will. Because at some level, constantly being in this 16-minute left, desperate ploy desperate call and cry out for survival has to become very tiring and extremely painful. Oh, did I lose the freaking thing? Do I have to make another one? Unless remembrance is a technology, which could be. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay. But I would still need to remake the Heart of the Sun to do whatever this does. Okay. In that case, I will take a brief detour. I will make the remembrance. I will try and just craft a whole bunch of these right out the gate, but I don't have the materials for it. So I will go back to my base. I'll make the Heart of the Sun again. I'll make the remembrance. And then, just to see what that does. And then I will go back and I will reset the simulation to show you guys what the other... actually, no, I'm going to talk about my thoughts a little bit more. So, at some level, the Atlas knows that... Whoa, what the heck? Visit your old friends? Okay, let's do that. See if they have anything to say about my decision. I don't know. My thoughts will be put on hold momentarily while we chat with... I think it's just Nada and Polo who have something to say about this, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't remember... I think when I played through the first time, I reset the simulation because I didn't understand what we were doing. So I didn't actually get all of the rest of this dialogue. So let's go chat with Nada and Polo and see what there is, see what they have to say about all of this. See if he knows. He may not. Traveler friend, you remembered us. Nada is grateful. For as long as Nada has, Nada will be grateful. We will remember you also. Aww. Enjoy reality while it lasts. Go further, go faster, see it all. Have no regrets, friend. I am proud of you. Aww, that's nice. Alright. So, I am going to go back to base to get a whole bunch of materials. But yes, I know I've said it a bunch. I sound like a broken record at this point, but I really want to drive this point home of death is inescapable. Even for an extremely powerful entity such as the Atlas, it cannot escape death. Now, because I don't know what the Atlas said in the previous things, you guys will know because I will have read it out for you, but it feared something. I don't know if it feared death or if it feared some other entity, but the point of all of this is that it did everything that it could to try and escape death, and it is now basically crying out in pain for anyone to in desperation for anyone to do anything. But because of the flaws of the simulation, there is nothing that anyone can do to stop its death. So, rather than reset the simulation and continue to put it through the torment of trying to go out and ask for someone else's help, I chose to let it die so that it could finally be at peace. Now, the clues that I was mentioning, the first one is my decision with Artemis. This is a very similar situation, I can speak English, I promise, to what we found her in. That we were basically in charge of her soul, or her essence, or whatever you want to call it. And we had to decide, do we allow her to live or not? And I chose, and basically, she would always be alone, and she would never be able to find any companions whatsoever. Which, if you noticed, is extremely similar to the Atlas, who also were alone and were basically crying out for help from anyone. They didn't care who, just anyone. So I needed 150 more. And so, sort of the decision that you make for Artemis kind of reflects the decision that you will make for the Atlas. Now, of course, you can change your mind, and the game sort of, if you choose not to let Artemis die, the game does sort of push you in a way to make you question your decision, which is kind of fun, because Artemis will basically contact you, and she will have no memory of what happened each time she contacts you, but it'll start to hint at the fact that she will start to figure out that everything is a simulation. And it makes you question if everything that you're doing is also a simulation, because it's entirely possible that someone could have put you in a simulation to save your life. So yeah, for those of you who saw that episode when I allowed Artemis to die, if you knew right from the get-go that I was going to do this, bravo. I have mad props for you on that one, because I tried to keep it a little bit mysterious as to what I was going to do, but I did want you guys to try and figure it out. So if you did figure it out, congratulations. I don't know what you win, but you probably win something. Anyway, in that regard, we're gonna finish up here. I'm gonna make Remembrance, and then I'm gonna go back to the last interface, and I will... Oh my god, I need 100. I'll go back to the last interface. I'll reset the simulation so you guys can see basically both endings. And then that will be the end of the series. So I'll see you guys at that point. Let's go reset the simulation so you guys can see the end of this, of basically how that will cause things to play out. And then I will see you, and then that will be pretty much the end of the series. Now, I will take a short break, but I am curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are, or what you guys want to see for the next series. I'm contemplating a couple of different games, and I'm willing to make like a poll or something for what you guys want to see. And those games are Terraria, Hollow Knight, Serious Sam, and there was one more. Terraria, Hollow Knight, Serious Sam, and Mass Effect. Those are the big four. So I'm curious to see. I'll do them all because I want to do them all, because I really enjoy all of those games for very different reasons. But I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on what you want to see next. So let me know in the comments what particular game you guys want to see, and I will make the series on that. And I'll take a couple of days just to sort of let you guys get into contact about that. But yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are. I'll probably make a poll and I'll put it in the community tab so you guys can fill that out as you so desire. But I'll figure it out, and I'll see you guys at the simulation, at the final interface, so we can figure this all thing out. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Starship Monitoring System reports. File registry fragmented. Auto-diagnostics error. Unable to verify system integrity. Manual input required. What? Error. What? Starship monitoring... Yeah, okay. Verify system integrity? Alright then, in that case... view fragmentation map. The ship computer presents me with a raw memory readout. Address blocks lighting and dimming as they were accessed by internal processes. I have no recollection of accessing this interface in the past. Pinpointing the error may require some experimentation. Okay. Block 0? No errors found in Block 0. Alright. I guess we just go through them. No errors found in Block 1. Alright, Block 2 then it is. Analyzing. Unidentified process discovered at address that. Activate firewall, quarantine, delete data. Activate firewall? Activate the computer firewall, but alerts continue to flash across the display. Alright, cool, so that doesn't do anything. Quarantine? Quarantined. Alright, cool. Unidentified process discovered at that. What if we delete the data? Unidentified process discovered at that. Quarantine that. Error. Administrator privileges required. Enter administrator password. Logging in as administrator. Failed. User is already... What? Fetching recent user activity. Log. Logging in as administrator. Success. Log. Executing hijack script. Log. Pilot interface. Found. Scanning for sentient pilot. No dominant race pilot found. Conclusion. Self-piloting ship identified. Injecting autopilot coordinates. Uh-oh. A short audio clip plays from my ship communicator. A voice? The cadence of the sound suggests speech, although it is not in any language I recognize. Warning. Commencing autopilot to remote destination. Emergency override. Is the Sentinel ship that I'm in starting to take over? Because that could be a problem. Autopilot aborted. The alerts flashing across my ship gradually display slow, then... Ship display gradually slow, then disappear. Normal functionality is restored. It appears whatever unidentified process was taking over the system, it has finally been removed, or given up. My ship computer has isolated the injected autopilot target. I could ignore it or fly there manually to figure out where the suspicious data originated. They who returned? Weird. Okay. Let's do that then, I guess. Take a short detour. Oh. Never mind. In that case, I will go through this black hole, and we'll see about getting to the Galactic Center. Actually, I'll look it up first. I'll look it up, and then if it's, like, lore significant or worth doing, I'll do that instead. But I was really hyping up the end of the series, so I guess maybe not. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Okay, so I've looked it up, and this is actually a fairly lore-heavy quest, which only shows up after you complete the Purge. So I guess that isn't the end of the game, and we will go see about getting this quest done. Hyperdrive has no fuel. Of course it does. Well, good thing I got all of these shards. Alright, so this is not the end of the series then. I still would like your thoughts on what you want the next series to be, because we're coming to the end, but I don't remember. At this point, we are starting to exit the realm of what I have learned, or what I remember as part of the series. So, yeah. I will leave the episode here. I'll land on the planet, and then I will leave the episode here. And I'm going to devote a whole episode to this quest. And then I will journey to the Galactic Core, and that will be the end of the series. Assuming that there's nothing else to do with that. So let's go have a look-see at this hijack source. And then I'll land, and I will see you guys, and then I'll end the episode. I don't know why I'm doing my outro. It's not... Now is not the time for that. Alright, so we're pretty close to the hack source, but I am out of time for this episode, like I mentioned. So, yeah, this is... From here on out, it's only going to be lore stuff. This quest apparently is very lore-heavy, so says the internet, so I'll do it. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, rather. Wow, my brain is totally fried. Sorry about the fake out. I genuinely did think that this series would be over. I didn't realize that there was more to do after making the decision with the Atlas. Although it's possible that if I reset the simulation, we wouldn't have been able to see all of this extra, all these like post-purge quests. So in that regard, maybe I did make the right decision after all. Whatever the case may be, if you made it to the end, if you made it to the end of the episode, please consider to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps let YouTube know that this is stuff that people want to see, and that it's worth pushing out. And if you made it, also if you made it to the end of the episode, hopefully you were entertained. It means a lot that you took your time to stick around and watch to the end of the episode, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Alright, as always, take care of yourselves. Alright, bye.